a world threatened by an ancient hidden war, disgraced former wrestling champion Tyrus finds himself scraping by as a security guard at a high-tech laboratory. When a freak accident grants him incredible superpowers, he finds himself facing off against Gorgon and her horde of evil man-beasts. Will Tyrus become the unstoppable hero who saves the world, or will he fall and doom us all?
Hey guys, Gabe here. A very special night tonight. I'm here with my great friend, the great Jericho Green. It is February 10th, and the New England Patriots are who we thought they were, and the Denver Broncos. I don't know if they would have won, but they wouldn't have done that. How you doing, Jericho?
Fine, man. That was that was a boring ass Super Bowl. And I
was hate watching that thing because poor Bo Nix broke his ankle, and who knows what could have been.
Yeah, and same here. I hate the Seahawks. They're my division. Had my team been healthy, I don't think they would have been there. But why didn't they give the MVP to the kicker? He scored all the points.
You can't give the MVP to a kicker.
Why not?
Are you smoking?
Why not? He scored all the points. They gave it to some running back who didn't put points on the board.
I had a little party here with my brother-in-law, my father-in-law, my son, and my best friend, and just the five of us. And we were talking about the kicker was the only one that had any points. And I said, if this holds, he's going to be able to tell the ladies, I'm the only one that scored in that Super Bowl. He's going to go out and tell all the ladies that. And then he'll say, I'm not done scoring for the day. You know what I mean? So
they should have gave it the MVP to the kicker. He scored all the damn points.
Yeah, I thought that running back, he deserved it. And the best play of the game got called back on a holding penalty. So that totally sucked. So I don't know.
Weak.
So
boring,
I had fun.
Boring.
As a Bronco Patriot hater, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Look at this. Diesel says, mind you, the kicker is a former Australian football player, my sports.
Okay. Crikey. Look at the size of that pigger.
Didn't you play some semi-pro, off-Broadway football here in Southern California, Diesel? Didn't you do something like that?
It was next to Broadway.
It was like the Murrieta Marauders or something out in the desert here in California. I don't know. He played some football out here. Those leagues where the guys are 32 and they work construction, but then they play football.
Yeah. They still got the dream.
Yeah.
They still got some Polk High School left in them,
I would Yeah, that's the thing about football that's so sad. The last time you suit up, whether it be high school or if you're lucky enough to play in college, that's it. There is no pick-up tackle football. There is no such thing. Just pick up basketball, tennis, golf, anything you want to do pretty much the rest of your life. Football, it's done. You're just done. It's like a teenager or early 20s. You're done forever putting the helmet on. So.
Yeah, I think it's best, though, that we don't know those moments are our last moments. I think it's definitely best.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'd be too manic the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Oh, look at this. Diesel says, I play Australian football still for the LA Dragons. Well, there you go.
Crikey.
Sounds savage. Yeah. So, let's see. Practice begins this Saturday. Well, there you go. It's one of those spring ball.
Be careful. Yeah. Careful out there. We don't hear like we used to.
Yeah. What do you think Diesel is? Probably in his mid-30s, right? Early to mid-30s?
Yeah.
He's younger than us.
Not too much younger. He's still one of the Utes.
One of the Utes. I have a Ford F-150 as you do, and I was unloading a bunch of comic books I was taking to the post office to deliver, to send out to my customers, my fans. And I was standing on the bed of the truck, and I was about to jump onto the sidewalk. And this was 2 years ago, and I'm like, nope, you're 45. Crawl out, climb down.
Climb down like a gentleman.
I don't care if it's 3 feet. Do not jump. You're 45 at the time. Do not jump out of this truck.
Could you imagine? Explain how'd you hurt your knee or
you don't
ankle
want to tell
or whatever
that
it would
story
have been?
over and over, and you're just telling everyone, "Oh yeah, I jumped out of my truck. Oh yeah, I jumped off the bed of my truck. Oh, I jumped out the bed."
Yeah.
No.
Did you fall out? No, I jumped. It was calculated.
I chose to jump onto the asphalt at 45 years old. I chose.
My body said, "All right, you want to fuck around?"
My body said no, but my mind is telling me, "What is that song?"
Yeah, my mind's telling me no, but my body telling me, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
that's how you get in trouble. That's how you end up in one of those fucking scooters with your knee on it, scooting
Right.
around. And of course, somebody's going to ask, what happened?
Oh, you have to tell the story over and over. Have you ever done your? I did. I twisted my ankle twice in my life. Never broke it, but sprained it really good where I needed crutches for about a week. You ever done one like that or not?
Nah, I had like a little outpatient surgery on my toe one time,
Uh-huh.
and so I had to get around on crutches with that for a little bit. But that
Hmm.
was about it. Never, knock on wood, never broke anything. So I'm
But you
good.
did. You told me that time you fainted when you were at a hospital and hit your chin
Yeah.
on the ground.
Dude, good
How did you
night.
not break all your teeth? You got or bite your tongue off.
I know that's the first thing I did was feel around in my mouth and my tongue to see if all my teeth are there. And we were good, but my chin.
But your chin was split open.
Yeah, 10
Do you
stitches.
even remember fainting, or it just kind of happened, huh?
No, I just remember thinking, I'll walk over here. And the next thing you know, like, sir, can you stand up, sir? I'm
They
like,
say
who
you're
the fuck are
being
they talking
shaken
to?
and like the sun's in your eyes.
I was like,
Sir,
I
are
remember
you all
thinking,
right?
who the fuck are they talking to? Is that guy going to get up or what? Oh, it's me they're talking to. And then, yeah, I opened my eyes. Yeah, it was crazy. And my buddy, he saw me walk out of there. And then the next time he saw me, I'm being wheeled in. He's like, what the fuck happened? I was like, it's all your fault, you piece of shit.
Because you were at the hospital because your friend was hurt, right?
Yeah, he is dumbass. He hurt his toe. He got his toe wedged under the door.
Oh.
His big toe wedged under the door. If you can imagine, the gap that's under a door is not meant for your big toe. So it was, when I say it was wedged under there, it was wedged. Imagine standing too close to the door and just yanking the door open.
I've done that. I told you.
Your toe just going right under.
My index toe, I don't know what it's called, the second toe. I opened the bathroom door and the door came and just scraped my nail off my toe.
Yummy.
It was not great. And I did, and then that took 6 months to grow all the way back. And then I was in my backyard and I stepped at a concrete step and missed it. And my toenail caught the edge of the step just right, the little grains in the concrete and all that, and peeled it off. Like a week after I had been looking at my toe and said, it grew back.
Well, good. So, this will never happen again.
Yeah, it's back now. So knock on wood. It's been like 10 years I've had the toe intact.
Knock the shit out of that wood because, that sounds devastating.
It wasn't great. I remember when I ripped my toe off with the door, the bathroom door, I couldn't sleep that night because my entire leg, I could feel the pulse. You know, that transitory pain.
Yeah, it was like a nightclub on Jersey Shore. Just all night long. Yeah, it's all bad. And after my surgery, I put my foot up, elevate your foot, blah, blah, blah. That did nothing. So I don't know if they prescribed anything. It was just ibuprofen or whatever, but I'll tell you this, you could tell when it was starting to wear off. That's for damn sure. I was like, oh. So then you get it down to where, all right, it lasts this long. It's about now I should take it to avoid, the pain. So I got it down, but man, when that shit was wearing off, you knew because that throbbing pain would come back. And you hear about injuries like turf toe. And I actually finally had that explained to me. It's actually pretty fucked up. It's the tendon under your toe that fucking snaps. That's turf toe.
Okay.
But when you hear that, you're thinking big guy, 6 foot something, 200 some pounds, 300 some pounds. What do you mean turf toe? Just tape it. It's a toe. You got 9 more. Tape it against the one next to it. Get your ass out there. But when you actually find out what it is,
yeah, we have a high tolerance for other people's pain.
Yeah,
so,
Yeah, that sounds pretty fucked up. I pulled my groin before, twice. That was fun. That was one for.
Yeah, I heard you pull your groin a lot, is what I heard.
No, not the middle. The side, the groin, the actual groin. Not the loin, the groin.
Okay.
Pull my groin, not my loin. I will pull the loin, but not what I mean when I said my groin. Not the loin.
Goodness.
Loin, groin, groin, loin. That's what it is. You ever see Smokey and the Bandit?
I haven't. I've seen clips and everything, and all since I was a kid. I've seen that Burt Reynolds, and it's Burt Reynolds and Sally Field, and they're in the Camaro, and they're running from the sheriff, and they're running
from the sheriff and his son, and the bandit's friend is driving the truck that has the beer on it. But Jackie Gleason plays the sheriff. Same Jackie Gleason who was the husband in The Honeymooners.
To the moon, Alice.
Right. And who says domestic violence can't be funny? But I remember watching it as a kid. So that's all I knew him from was The Honeymooner. And it's a comedy. So he was a pretty, like dopey guy. Always had him and Ralph always had some bright idea, it's going to make him rich. So that's how I knew him. So when I saw him in Smokey and the Bandit, he was a dick. But it's funny. He's the funniest person in the movie, but he's like mean. And so one of the things he tells his son, and he said, when I get home, I'm going to punch your mama in the mouth.
Oh, I've heard that. You ain't from my loins, boy.
There's no way you came from my loins. Yeah, dude. Oh, man, he's so funny. He talks shit to his son all the time. But yeah, that's one we have. If you haven't seen Smoking the Bandit, we have to do that. That is
yeah,
iconic.
We'll do some movie reviews again. We'll definitely do it. Smoking. Maybe we'll do it with Smoking the Bandit. I've wanted to see it. I just saw something for it the other day. I think I saw a thread on Twitter where someone was talking about Camaros and this and that, and they showed a clip of Burt Reynolds trash talking the sheriff over the CB radio.
Oh yeah, man.
So,
there's lots of everybody has a handle. Keep your pedal to the metal, good buddy, and a lot of that shit because
break a rubber ducky.
Yeah, that's getting into that. I think that came out 78, 77, 78, late 70s. So now you're getting into the CB craze, CB radio, ham radio craze, which begat the car craze that we were talking about last time.
Right, with Bigfoot,
Hardcastle,
Bigfoot, Knight Rider, Dukes of Hazzard, Airwolf, all the vehicles.
A-Team.
Even Hulk Hogan had that show where he was driving like a speedboat in Florida,
Thunder in Paradise.
Right. There were so many awesome vehicle shows. Where did those go?
I don't know. What happened? Why was America ready for it then, but not now?
Even it wasn't a show that focused on the vehicles. It focused on the character. But even Magnum PI, you had the Testarossa, and you had, what was it? The guy that flew the helicopter, his Vietnam buddy.
Oh, TC?
TC. He flew the helicopter tours around.
Yeah. Some kind of vehicle. Yeah. So what was that? Did the powers that be decide this is what we're into? Did the people decide that what we're into? And why were we into that? Because it was strong. The vehicle game, whether flying car, motorcycle, what the fuck ever, van, 18-wheeler, you had those two guys. One was a blonde Australian guy. They had like that souped up computerized 18-wheeler with like the whole command center in the back. And dude, Hardcastle and McCormick.
It grew so powerful, the car thing and the culture, that Bigfoot himself, the vehicle, not the driver, became a celebrity somehow.
Tell me right now without Googling the name of the fucking driver of Bigfoot. I've never heard it in my life.
Right. Big Baby went to Monster Jam like 3 weeks ago. My wife took her. It was during the NFL playoffs, so I didn't go. But she went to Monster Jam and she thought it was awesome. So
did she have her little headphones on?
She did.
Yeah, it gets loud in there.
So, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. But
I have the Bigfoot that every kid had in the 80s. You know the one from Tonka? And it had some switches on top.
Blue pickup truck, man. Bigfoot was a shit. I don't know why that was. And it lasted for a long time. But I would love to get back into that. That was so cool, man. And then it's something you could get as a kid, the toy you can get as a kid and play with it now. So cool.
Diesel says, bro, Bob Chadler. He must have had a typo there. Or he's probably doing voice to text.
You stroke out when you were
it's probably, but if you guys could see the text that I send to my friends like Jericho and stuff, that sometimes they're incoherent because I don't type. I got giant catcher's mitts, man. I just do voice to text and then I'll hit send. And I still haven't learned to read it before I hit send most of the time. So I'll send Jericho something, then I'll read it and go, oh shit, that's not what I said at all.
I'm like trying to translate. What the fuck does he mean?
Oh, Bob Chandler.
You smell pancakes right now? Yeah, but that's probably because you remember it from when you were a kid. And you could show me a picture of that guy. I couldn't tell you who the fuck he was. Right. But that was definitely the vehicle was the star. Even Knight Rider, Michael Knight, he was still more of the star.
Well, Michael, if you're going to do that with the lady, put a towel down on my seats.
Yeah. Michael, please scotch guard my seats, Michael. Why?
Oh, Diesel in here trying to say he's as big as Tyrus. I don't know. I've met Tyrus multiple times in real life. He's a big guy.
Big old boy.
It takes a lot for me to say someone is big because I'm always the biggest, tallest guy everywhere I go. So, dang. Although I'm not a fat anymore. I used to be a fat. I just quit giving a shit, didn't pay attention. I think a lot of guys do that. Then you're in your mid-30s and you're like, you look like you're storing nuts for the winter, you know?
Yeah, but man, sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
Then you see an old picture and you're like, ooh.
Like, oh, man, I got to get back to that.
Ooh.
The turning point for me was I remember where I was. It was the summer of 2013, and Memorial Day. Took my wife and kids there. My kids were like middle schoolers at the time. And my daughter just took a family picture, and I was laying on a towel. And I saw the picture later that day, and I'm like, that's me with my shirt off? What the fuck? And I've been walking twice a day and trying to eat right ever since. So it's in 13 years. I saw one picture. I'm like, nope. That no. That was not the way I wanted to go. So.
Yeah, we all have to have that moment. That rock bottom, some people might say.
I don't like this. Think about what you think about it. And Tyrus should be here soon. He said he'll be around 5:15, which it's already passed. So just give it a few minutes. He'll be in here soon. I told him not to come at the very beginning because people are coming in. Because when you hit go live, YouTube sends out like a notification people. But I don't know how the algorithm works. It sends it out to, speak of the, not the devil, but speak of the pro wrestling legend and commentator himself. Welcome to the show. Tyrus.
What up, fellas?
What up, man?
Hey, Tyrus, this is my good friend Jericho Green. We've been hosting the show like for 4 years, a lot of improv comedy, political commentating, and we review action movies from the 80s. But thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for being here.
He's very, Tyrus, when you get to know Jericho, he's like you very much so. Very good with the improv comedy and very insightful about the politics. He's a Navy veteran and, Jericho, good friend of mine. So I'm glad you two can meet finally.
Nice to meet you, Jay.
Pleasure to meet you too, man. And look, we both have our arms crossed, so we're birds of a feather, man.
All right, well, there you go. Now I'm in it too. So how is it? What are you up to, Tyrus? How are things going tonight?
Just another night, man. Just finished up some work stuff, and then I got a little break, and then I got to do some more radio stuff for the podcast. But
okay,
just getting my grind on.
All right, just in between one of your 5 shows that you're on per day.
Yeah, that's about right. Yep.
Not bad, man. Not bad.
It's never peaks and valleys. It's all or nothing. It's never spread out. At least that's been my life experience.
Does it ever feel like sprinting a marathon to you?
No, that would be insane.
Right.
Sprint. Yeah, but no, it's you kind of get in your routines. You take the longer you're in the game, the more you pace yourself and you put away, you get rid of things like extracurricular activities. When make sure you get your rest, do your work. You don't need to be at the nightclub anymore. You don't need to do stay focused on. If you're trying to do the job and you're trying to build something, then you got to put in the work. You put the extracurriculars aside and you do what you need to do as a man.
Very cool.
Be responsible. Yeah, when you're a kid,
it's not like I'm digging ditches. I'm not digging ditches and working construction. So it's a lot of work, but it's a different work. But at the same time, you got to be on every night. When you're on national TV, you can't have. You're at work with everybody watching you while you're on the clock, so you can't have a bad night. You can't have too many. You can have maybe one if you're lucky, but you string a few of those in a row, then construction work might not be too far off.
Ooh, yeah. I think that sometimes because comic books, this sounds ridiculous. It can be a grind though. It's a lot of hours. It's not physically hard, but it is a lot of hours.
A lot of hours.
And whenever I'm bitching and complaining to myself, writing a comic, drawing one, I'm like, well, I could be back at Home Depot, like when I was in college, or when I worked in construction. It could be
or worse, or in between.
Right.
On the wrong side of 40, trying to figure out how you're going to keep the lights on, with a family to feed. So you take it in stride. You have an opportunity. If you can keep your head on straight and keep your nose on the grind, you have an opportunity to improve your life. And so that should be all the inspiration you need to do what you need to do when it comes to your work.
Yep. That's the beauty of America. Work hard. Plus America, you're going to be all right. And like you were saying, it could be worse. My grandpa's job when he was 12 was if the bolt to the head didn't kill the cow, he had to hit it in the forehead with a sledgehammer. So, at 12 years old, I was riding bikes and whatnot. I wasn't slaughtering bovines. So, yeah, exactly. Man, could be a lot worse.
Yikes. Yeah, I think about my grandfather in the Great Depression, dropping out of school. He said around 5 years old to help sell fruit and stuff like that. And my dad, growing up in Africa, telling me they had meat once a week and they had electricity sometimes.
Yeah.
So so
Damn, man,
not great.
we stay with a ribeye in the fridge and the lights on. Too many lights on. It's like a damn baseball stadium in here. Sometimes I tell my kids, turn the damn lights off. That's real. Hey, Tyrus, I do want to ask you this, man. Did you have a moment early on where you knew that the 9 to 5 that we were just talking about just wasn't for you? Did you have a moment where you're like, I want to do something different, where still going to work hard, but I want to do something out of the ordinary?
Not really. Opportunities come along, and I never really ever got ahead of myself with stuff. I was never a big bridge burner. I knew that whatever I was doing and the amount of work, especially I was doing a lot of untraditional things that someone with my body type, my look, my outlook on life, and in some cases even my culture, wasn't. I was going into situations where I was going to be not the norm. So I had to, in my mind, I had to be better than everyone else. I got to be earlier than everyone else. I got to stay later than everyone else. That's how I did it. So it was pretty much was the same preparation, the same pride and joy. I was just as happy having a lesson plan or a play go well in coaching or teaching than I does in having a #1 hit show or whatever the deal was, or New York Times bestselling, whatever the accolades are. Whatever I was in that moment was the most important thing. So there's not much difference in my mindset opposed to being the best at your field as a teacher or as a coach or working at a Home Depot. I wanted to be the best at what I was, where I was. So I always kind of was, there's never, when I'm not in it anymore, it's behind me. I don't look back. And when I'm in it, I'm trying to lead the pack. So it's the same. It's the same mindset.
Mm-hmm. And now you can add comic book creator to that list of said accolades. How cool is that, man? To have a comic book. You're in rarefied air, man. Not many people can say they have a world-class comic book.
Yeah, and my version of it, I'm getting it sent to get it rated, but I got a good feeling mine's going to be at least a 9.8. 9.6. So I'm pretty excited about, because they came in the mail pretty pristine. A lot of positive feedback. I did this with my children's book, and I did this with my comic book. I gave my copies of the books to teenagers, to my son and his friends, and usually your toughest critics are your kids. And I handed it out to people at work who were into comic books and stuff, and I would just give me your feedback, be brutally honest with me. You can keep it, give it away. And ironically, I gave it to my son and a couple of his buddies, his cousins. They were on tour with me last weekend in Florida. And I said, hey, anytime I'll sign it and you can sell it on merch. I gave them the comic book and they read it and none of them sold it. And just so you know, the one that I did put up, the pre-order that I think I told Gabe, it sold for $1,100. That's what the bidding stopped at for an autograph for my thing. So, and the boys knew that. So that's got to feel pretty good. They wanted to hold on to it. They liked the story. They connected. They read it it's a pretty quick read, which is the ultimate compliment. They didn't want to put it down. And in this day and age of kids getting on the net and they need everything right now, seeing them reading it through it and talking about it was really encouraging. So I think we have a pretty good formula. And we're putting something out there a little bit different, but also at the same time, classically respectful of what a comic book should be. And for me, this vision of this reluctant hero, but I think it's a little different where he's not reluctant because he's bitter. He's reluctant because he doesn't understand. So it's a little bit of a different mindset to where he always had the ability in him. He's just always an underachiever, or he's always too busy blaming somebody else for his situation. So when there's that moment when and again, this is a big guy dumb thing. An orangutan is about to be injected with this stuff and probably going to be the end of it. And Tyrus's instinct, because he cared about the orangutan and he had a little bit of a friendship with it, he literally took a bullet for it. So we saw who he really was when he just was himself. And the results of which led to, him being changed forever. And the fun thing about it is because it's such an interesting concept, a lot of people were like, oh, why horseshoe crab? And I look at that and I was like, well, if you knew anything about the history of this planet, the one of the number one survivors, top guy on the food chain in terms of longevity is a horseshoe crab. And horseshoe crabs are used in a lot of medical studies because they have a very interesting antibodies. They have the type of antibodies to where they can only get sick once. Now, what I mean by that is like a common cold. If a horseshoe crab catches what the virus that is a cold and it survives it, it can never get sick again with that particular virus. So you turn that into the comic book world, whereas something happens to Tyrus, let's say he gets electrocuted, he gets hit with a taser, and he's knocked unconscious. But if he survives it, the next time you hit him with electricity, it won't work. So in theory, he will start out pretty vulnerable, but as time goes on, as he does more heroic things, say he gets shot, he'll become bulletproof. The fun thing is, as we get into uh, building this thing, is how it's going to change him physically. How is it going to affect him mentally? Because
That's a big part of volume 2. There's a lot of that,
yeah.
which I finished writing it last week. It's a monster. I love the story.
So, if he physically starts to start looking less human and more of the augmentation as a result of the battles he gets into, he loses a little humanity. So this could be a situation where he starts out as this hero, but he can end up being the villain when this thing, because, it's just, it's a fun thing. It's a fun concept to play around with and twist and talk on it, and it kind of captures the actual hero stuff, beating up the villains and throwing them through the doors and being big and powerful. That's kind of the easy part. Focusing on the stuff that makes you endear to the hero to create to the audience, that's the tough stuff. Like he's got to be human. He just can't be blue and jacked and beating people up. There has to be a rhyme or reason, a weakness. And I think that was encapsulated in this, and it's just a fun read. I read it. It took me about an hour and 10 minutes to read it. I didn't put it down. I knocked it out, and I was, and of course I had a pretty good idea but the way it came together, and he kept wanting to send me. Gabe was like, "Hey, I got this part done," and I kept saying, "Nope, I don't want to see it till it's done." And I think that was the most exciting thing was to read through, because you give ideas, you collaborate, you push stuff. It's your, and even the original drawing of what he was supposed to be like, he was a little more zombified looking, and then gave it the beauty of his artistry is he makes it human, very connectable. He's not, and he didn't lose the wit and the sarcasm. I think there's a difference between being funny and a smartass, and we like Spider-Man, Deadpool, they got smartassery on lock, right? But there's a thing where you can look at life and make fun of yourself, which they don't do. They make fun of everybody else. So Tyrus, a lot of times, there's that, I don't want to spoil her, but there's that great moment where he has the crown,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everyone is like this, that, whatever, and he just says something very typically that I would say. He made a joke about himself,
Right.
and then he was like, "Oh, I'm just kidding. Here, take it back."
Yeah.
But that, I think that is something that's sorely missing. You want to have a character that's relatable, but at the same time, you want to have a character that can make fun of himself. And when you can make fun of yourself and you can make fun of your shortcomings, you can fix them. And so I think there's a lot of connective tissue to this story that the average young man will I think be connected to. And it's the type of thing where it's not he ain't no punk. It's not a like there's enough there to where the entire family can read the story. It's not anything to where the kids can't watch. We're not trying to push any envelopes. We're not trying to conjure up some political view on this, that, or whatever. We just want, I don't care who you vote for. It's a fun adventure, fun story. And it should just be as that. And whatever happens with it. Obviously, it's a business and you want to do well, but at the same time, there's little things in life that, let's say, for whatever reason, we end up not doing another comic book or whatever. This is one of those things in life where you look back and you're like, man, I got a chance to do something I wanted to do, and it is something that you can always be like, hey, I did this or I did that. So, but fortunately, it has been lightning in the bottle, just pre-orders, and we'll continue to grow as the success dictates. But I'm excited that we're already getting ready to work on two.
Yeah, I
And
want to
we're
start
keep things
drawing it
going up.
right away. I'm going to go over another
So,
draft.
but anybody who's looking for just it's just fun story. We're not trying to change hearts and minds. We just want to give you some fun. Use your imagination. Maybe you don't have to swipe up and swipe left. You just have to turn the page. And I think we're pushing that. We want to get back to that. Let's turn pages and not swipe.
All right, I'm sorry I messed with the layout there at the end.
And that
I didn't mean to do that. Real quick, I just want to say from my end of this process working with you, man. First of all, I appreciate you. And you hit me up like 3-4 years ago when I made that splash with DC Comics and all that. And I remember asking you about a year or so after I knew, hey, would you want to work on a comic? Because I found out what your screen names meant because I know what planet Hulk is.
Yes.
And then Tyrus Smash. Oh, Hulk Smash. I'm like, oh, this is a comic book guy. And then I thought, wrestling is just real life comic books. And then you were in. And when we had that first talk on the phone where you talked about what you wanted the comic to be about, and the main thing you said to me was a young guy who's a screw up and learns not to be a screw up. I only thought of myself and the
right.
dumb
I think
everyone.
I think he's very relatable to everyone.
Right.
He was an underachiever, and even worse, when he had achieved success, he didn't know what to do with it. He cannot get out of his own way.
Right.
He was the biggest villain and disappointment in his life up until the change, and it got to the point where everyone around him was tired of his song and dance. Like we're picking up Tyrus's story. He has already led a life of disappointment and letdowns, and he was able to get by with his physical prowess and his athleticism. But it got to the point where even the wrestling company, his relationship, people around him were just fed up and tired of being let down. So we kind of pick up at the peak of his failures, right? He's wrestling in a sold out arena. He doesn't do what he's supposed to do, and of course it's their fault, not his fault. Very typical of a lot of young men today. He ends up losing it all because he had to be right. He knew better than everybody else, so he's out of a job. And it wasn't anything new. And the person who loved him the most was like, I can't do this anymore with you. And there is a million guys who have had good women who get tired of having to pick up the pieces and carry the thing and work the jobs and take care of him. And, so it's a very, very realistic situation. And he doesn't have someone to blame, where like, or a revenge type thing, like he saved an orangutan. He's not going to get, even though it's a mystic creature, what turns out, but he doesn't know that at the time. But the point is that he doesn't have an uncle that was, or a mom or someone that was wrong. He was a screw up who has been given this divine opportunity to change people's lives. So it's a little different in the sense of the origin story, where there's not, the only sadness really is Tyrus in terms of his inability to make anything lasting or be successful. So I like that aspect of it, because before it was never, they were never, the hero was never super weak. He was just misunderstood, or he was bullied. But this is a situation where Tyrus was basically the bully, and he was basically a talented loser. So, and he kind of grows in this thing. So I like that. I think that relates more to people than avenging my uncle or my teacher or whatever, my sensei or whatever the hell your situation is. So I thought it was cool. It was different. That was the biggest thing I did ask the kids was the moment when he gets injected. Was that cool? Was that believable? And they all like, yeah, oh yeah, like I would have done the same thing, So it was kind of cool that was you wait, because when we watch stuff, let's be honest, we're all hypercritical. We're all directors. Whenever we watch, every time I watch a Hulk movie, I'm like, they wouldn't do that, or why are they doing this? You know what I'm saying? Or you see things like that and like, oh, that's not believable. I don't believe that. And it's like we're arguing about the reality of believability and make believe, which in itself is insane. But apparently, that's a whole career on the social media now. But it's kind of fun to go down that route. So when they're saying, "Oh no, that's cool. We would have done the same thing." That's very promising in terms of perception of young talent. Like I said, I think I got 12 copies. I gave them all away, and not one person gave them back. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
and I'm
exciting.
in contact with my printer to get some more made up. That takes a few weeks though, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So
and like I
these are
said,
just
this is a grassroots idea of
yeah,
just two dudes with a plan. Uh, and we're already starting to get phone calls and stuff. So this could be bringing the beginning of big man comics, taking things to the next level, and I'm excited to be a part of that.
yeah, and we
So
appreciate you, man. It's
when you
really been awesome. And I wanted to say one thing. You were saying my art was so great. I would be remiss if we didn't mention the genius who is involved with me, and he's been part of Big Man Comics the whole time as a mentor to me. He's a great friend of mine. His name is Philippe Briones. There he is right there. That's me, you, and Philippe. This is the page, bigmancomics.com. Go get the book right now. Go get it right now. Philippe was an animator for Disney, Treasure Planet, Emperor's New Groove, Tarzan. We worked together at DC Comics. We're good friends. He used to live in LA. He moved back to Paris. But Philippe does layouts on the book, character design. He's a beast. He's the best artist and designer I've ever worked with, and I've worked with hundreds. So we got to give all credit to him. He's not a social media guy. He doesn't do streams. He doesn't tweet or anything like that. He'll post some art on Facebook, but I just want to acknowledge him publicly because without him, this book does not exist the way it does. Because yes, I'm a great illustrator, but Philippe gives me layouts, goes over my work, gives me notes, draw it like this, do it like this. So he's a master, and he has been for 30-something years. So credit to Philippe for doing that, man, because I love the guy.
That's a great segue. Speaking
AJ,
of
you have a
people,
question?
Oh, who?
yeah.
Me?
Speaking of people, that you look up to and mentors, Tyrus, is there somebody when you're doing your children's books or you're doing something like this, the Unstoppable Tyrus? You mentioned your son and his friends, and how tough a critics teenagers can be. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and they'll let you know what's on their mind, whether you're ready or not.
Real quick.
But when you have different projects, is there somebody in your life whose opinion matters to you? Is there somebody who, when you have something important, a project of this nature and this magnitude, that their opinion matters and you're gonna take it to heart and maybe shape your decision in a certain way?
When I was younger, I did rely on role models and stuff for wisdom and leadership. But as when it comes to creating stuff, for me, the reaction or the acceptance or the understanding you want comes from the consumer. So if I put a book out or a project out, or even when you are posting something or you're putting a stand-up comedy show out, and it sells out or it's selling like crazy, and the reactions from the tests from people are seeing what you're putting out there and they're absorbing it, that to me is the driving fuel now. It used to be wrestling, if I couldn't get an answer from Dusty Rhodes or Arn Anderson, Tom Pritchard, or Pat Patterson, or whomever the agent was at that time. And then you get to the point where like you have all the information you need when it comes to creating this stuff. So you just need to do it. And if it falls short, you can't blame the guy in front of you. There's a certain amount of pride of betting on yourself, putting something out there, expecting it to be successful. And when fans are buying it, supporting it, wanting it, asking for more, companies are like, hey, who's doing your distribution? We should sit down and talk. Those are the things that I look for now. I look for tangible, real, no bullshit reactions. So, and that's like I said, you can also, it's a big risk because you're putting your neck out there. You put your blood, sweat, out the tears out. Consumers like, yeah, this sucks. You always risk that. And even when you do something good, there's always going to be somebody, doesn't matter what it is. It's just certain people on this planet have nothing better to do than to talk shit about people doing better than them. So, you take that with a talk, but overall, when, we started selling like crazy, the pre-orders, and they're moving, and we're talking about, well, we got to do with this one and that one. That's the type of positive energy that you feed off on, and that tells you all you need to know. If no one's touching it, if we're scrambling, going, hey, you got another project we could think of, things like that. I think those are indicators, but the fact that we're already talking about part 2 and part 1 isn't even out in the stores yet. So that type of stuff gets me pumped up, and that's what I live for, is reactions of the people to your art that you put out there. And I think Gabe can relate to that.
Absolutely. And one thing, I've been on the internet less. When I worked for DC Comics, they didn't want us commenting or tweeting because it could make the company look bad. And when I became friends with Jericho like 4 years ago, he's a veteran. He's got 370,000 YouTube followers, and he's conservative, as am I, and he gets a lot of insults because of it, And I remember asking you, Jericho, 4 years ago, was like, dude, how do you not care about the racist comments, the Uncle Tom, the this and that? And you laughed in my face, Jericho. You said, why the fuck do you care what these people on the internet think? And now I don't. It's taken a few years. And like you were saying, Tyrus, like, you can't care about these people who make it their hobby to just criticize people. And one thing that really helped me is I realized, like,
but nobody who's winning punches down. You're not going to get Elon Musk call you up and be like, "Oh, your little comic book only sold 30,000 units. Oh man, I wrote a book and it sold 1 million because I'm a billionaire." Well, that never happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't punch down. It's somebody who has if you have enough time in your day to watch somebody else promote what's going on in their life, and then you need to write about it and then wait to see if they react, you have a lot of free time on your hands that you probably need to evaluate what's going on in your world. Chances are you aren't meeting your full potential, but you go ahead, because you know what? If you're, I always, and I say this a lot to guys, when I was before I retired, whether I was a baby face or a heel, I controlled everything. When they booed me, it was just as much fun as when they cheered me, because I knew what they cheered for at the time, and their boos would always give me self-esteem. So when you deal with people who hate you, you have to remember, or they write like, "Hey, your show sucked." You should always smirk, because that means they watched it.
Yeah.
So I already won.
Thanks for the view.
The fact that you know that you watched it, you hated it, wrote it back, and then next week you told me I sucked again. Right. You are a consumer and a viewer now. So go ahead. If talking dirty or talking shit about me winning, about what I'm doing to pay my bills, is what's going on with you, I am living in your head rent free.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. Because please watch again. Please hate on me again. Because if you keep coming
next week, we'll see.
My numbers are going up.
Yep.
I was at a Pop Warner football camp. I coached Pop. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying. You got 10 million people responding to something I post, and there's 25 telling me how much they hate me. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Just as long as you watched.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or indifferent. Thanks for your patience.
Yeah.
So
I was.
I'll never watch you again, and then they're back.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry about all that. The latency with me. My timing was bad. I was at a Pop Warner football camp like 15 years ago, coach's camp, and one of Deion Sanders' old teammates was there, and he said this thing Deion said about the haters, and I love it, and I never forgot it. That Deion said, they don't boo nobodies, and I just absolutely love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And
you know me. I don't know you. And I have no idea who you are. And I'm most of the time their pictures on their stuff isn't of them. It's of somebody more successful or more handsome.
Yep. I get people. I've had people tell me before, you said that on the last video or blah, blah, blah. Like, so you're still watching, you quote unquote hate me, but you're still watching. And those people, they can all, suck it from the back.
Hey, click thumbs down. Click. Whether they click thumbs down or thumbs up, it's still a click. Click away, baby.
But one more thing I wanted to ask you, Tyrus, real quick, which was, I don't know, maybe not nervous, because when you've worked as hard to get to some of the places you've gotten to, I wouldn't say nerves are involved, but maybe got the palms a little bit sweaty. Which would you say was more of a wet palm moment? I guess first NWA match, first time on Gutfeld, or first stand-up comedy show?
Oh no. That stuff, butterflies, liking in terms of excitement before going out. That's there every night. I always said this in wrestling: the day you're in Gorilla and you're not nervous before you go out, it's time to get out. It's over. You should be excitedly nervous with a lot of high energy before you get to go out and perform. When you're standing there and you got a cig hanging out the side of your mouth and you're drinking a glass of Jack and you're like, well, I guess we'll go out there. It's over. And people know that. If your energy is high, they know. I think I'm more nervous about the preparation. Did I do enough? And do I have it all covered in my head? I think I stress more about that. Once you go out there, once you walk through that curtain, you can't be afraid anymore. You should embrace it and bring it enough confidence in yourself to whatever throws your way. Because I think Dusty Rhodes probably said it to me best. They kept pushing back my Brodus Clay debut after the Alberto Del Rio run. And because it was an argument, Arn Anderson wanted me as this monster heel to be more technical, and because I worked I didn't work like a big guy. I could do big guy stuff, but I didn't work like a big guy. And because once Big Show started coming off the top rope, everyone had to go start working. So that was an advantage. But he said to me one time, "Let's get ready to debut," and I was this monster heel, and they did all these vignettes, and then I made a joke in the locker room because I make jokes all the time, and I made fun of, I think it was Yoshi Tatsu had an all-white peanut butter leather jumpsuit on with a matching man bag and shoes, and I held about maybe 10 minutes of jokes about him, and Mark Henry, I guess, recorded it, and he went and played it in front of Vince, I guess, as the rumor, and Vince was laughing. He's like, "This guy's funny. Why is he not a babyface?" And Triple H, who has been all about unleashing Brodus on everyone, fought hard to be like, nope, that's who he is in the locker room. That's not who he is when he walked out there. And but the boss saw it, and we had to change everything. I went from coming out, and it was basically the House of Pain gimmick, and they took that gimmick and they gave it to Mark, and he did a great job with it, and he ended up being the champion. And then I was relegated to Vince equates being funny with dancing. So next thing you know, there was all this talk about having more of a Dusty when he was in the polka dots, or JYD earlier, that kind of a babyface thing, and that was like the furthest thing from my mind. And at one point, I even was like, yeah. Afterwards, he'd come out and do thump, and then he'd have all the kids get in the ring and dance with him and shit. And as I remember seeing that as a little guy, I was like, oh man, that's awesome. I want to get in the ring with him. So when we started, but I'll be honest with you, I was like, this is not what I want to do. And I had to go talk to the two most important people in my life in terms of wrestling was Haku, who's he's my family. He's my son's grandfather, and Dusty. And both of them looked at me and said, "Are you better than me?" Literally word for word. And I was like, no. He says, you go out there, you feed your family, you get over, you turn around on them. And Dusty said, he put me in polka dots. I was like, yeah. Do you think I like polka dots? And I was like, no. And what did I do? You turn it around. So he wants you to come out and dance and stuff. How you going to make it work? And, once they said that, I was like, oh, I got to figure it out. So that was tough. But, and then I was smart. I ran up to Naomi Trinity. I was like, hey, man, I don't dance at all. And he's not going to let me go without this doing some kind of dance shit. Can you help me out? And her and her little sidekick, they got together with Dusty and me, and we came up with that. And me and my weightlifting buddies, Hard Knocks with Funkasaurus. And I just remember standing in the gorilla, and I was like, man, this is either going to be awesome or this is going to suck. But I'm as prepared. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do, and we're going to see what happens. And I went out there, and the crowd, when the music hit and everything, everyone's mouth hit the floor. You could have dropped a pin in Anaheim, I think. Wow. And I went out there after I did the pyro and dance and everything, and the crowd, you could probably drop the pin. And then one guy who had his head shaved like my mohawk, and he had the cutoff trap T-shirt, and he was standing there holding his little popcorn, and he had like one tear running down his eye, and he was like maybe a couple of days over 40, and he just was like, "You suck, Clay," just echoed through the entire arena. And I just turned and looked and said, "My bad." And the whole place went nuts. The whole place cheered. You're not supposed to look in the camera and talk, but I was like, I'm fucking dying over here anyways. So you might as well go out. Clearly this gimmick sucks. And but I'm like, and then you know, the cool part is like my boys though, man, Hawkins and all the guys that I was with in the Brian Myers and Crime Time and all these dudes, they were arguing to debut for me, knowing that it was going to be a squash, and my boys had my back. And I think that was one of the coolest things is hearing Brian Myers walk up and say, "Hey, I'd like to be Funkasaurus's first match." I'll never ever forget that kindness, and knowing that your boys had your back. Business that has not traditionally always been like that was a really cool thing. But then after I yelled out, you know, my bad, and the place kind of, then I shot him in the corner and I yelled, "Should I get it? I mean, we're dying here. We might as well have fun with it." And the crowd yelled back, "Yeah!" And it was just, next thing you know, it went from complete silence to, "Oh shit!" And then I hit the Fall of Humanity, which was a giant high cross body, and they popped huge for it. They counted the 3. I got to the back, came in the thing. Everyone's clapping, everyone's happy. And Triple H walks up to me and he gives me a hug. He's like, "Don't look on the fucking internet. Whatever you do not look on the net tonight." You know. And you know, like I said, people had a lot to say, but it ended up Funkasaurus did more in terms of range. And 3 number 1 toys. Hosting Mattel with the late great man Adam West. So I mean, it led to a lot of things. But when I was nervous about that thing, I went to Dusty and he said, "Listen, I can't teach you shit about wrestling. All you're gonna know, but I know that when you smell the popcorn and you hear the crowd, you'll know what to do. I'm not worried about you. So just go do your thing." And ever since I had that pep talk, I really haven't needed one since the rest of my life. Like I just lean on the guys who helped me get there, because there's no Tyrus without Arn Anderson or Dusty Rhodes, John Laurinaitis, or Triple H, or those guys. Like, they were able to, you know. And I didn't understand now. I know that there will never be another situation in my life where I will be that uncomfortable, that out of my element. I mean, hell, even wanted me to wear all red. And I can tell you, with the exception of Kool-Aid, no big dude looks good in all red. So,
Yeah.
but you turned around and you made it work. It also inspires you to get your ass in shape, you know, cut down and lean out a little bit. But so that was probably, for me, that experience with the Funkasaurus, which led to just unbridled confidence when it comes to walking that aisle.
Yeah.
Like, just doesn't
Wow.
matter. It's all the same. I will never, ever have to dance and rip pants off in front of families and sold out arenas again. And
Hey, the
if I
night's
didn't
still
do
young,
it, they'd
man.
be
You
excited
never know.
to see it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
No,
speak
it's
too
nice.
soon.
As a matter of fact, man, I told him, I was like, "Look, yeah, I got like 6 text messages right now. Like, hey, we're ready to start." But again, hey, did we do the reveal? Do we know who got it?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Real quick. Let me pull that out real quick. I have a random number generator, and I have a list of all of the people on my mailing list. Pull those 2 things up. I'm going to randomly generate the number on random.org. I have it in. Generate.
We have a drum roll.
Let's get a drum roll here. I do have a sound effect in here. Media assets.
Junkyard
Oh, awesome,
dog.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah. JYD, grab them kids.
The closest thing it has is this.
He was a bad month.
Dude, the tights, the white boots, the chain around the neck, and when he team up with Hulk Hogan too, man, that was Saturday morning.
Oh, hey, man, before he got to the WWF in New Orleans, the JYD was bigger than Hogan. He was Who Dat. The Saints picked it up. Who Dat is from JYD.
Oh,
they
really?
chant that, scream that when he would walk in New Orleans. Oh, no. Who Dat is from JYD.
You know,
his big feud with Butch Reed and his feud with the Funks. New Orleans, it was like, who was it? The Assassins. And they came out with a shirt that said, "Thank God for sickle cell," and New Orleans was going nuts, you know. And JYD came out and just opened a can of ass whipping on him like you have never. Yeah. Oh yeah, back when wrestling, when you could do some shit back then. But
no.
And he whooped. And JYD put hand. I'm telling you. By the time he got to the WWF, man, he was so over in the South. He was so over in New Orleans. He would sell out their big stadium in New Orleans. Was the Silver Dome. Like, they would sell out back then when those guys, Midwest and all those other territories. Yeah, he was legendary.
Yeah.
We got the version that you saw of JYD in the WWF was him towards the end of his career. But when he was coming up, he was the man if there ever was one.
That is the
My goodness,
coldest.
that's
All right, so
insane.
did we?
You gotta love. I love the behind the scenes lore because when that's hitting, when WrestleMania starts, I'm 5, 6, 7 years old. I'm a little guy, loving Roddy Piper, loving rest in peace the Hulkster. My goodness, how sad. That was my birthday this year when he passed. I remember hearing that on the radio when I was driving home from Comic-Con. And Jericho and I, we review tons of 80s and awesome sci-fi action movies. And one we love is They Live by John Carpenter, like 1988 or something. And that has the greatest 8 or 9 minute fight scene of all time. Roddy Piper versus Keith David in an alley.
It's a really long fight scene.
I love that fight scene. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a really that's when both guys have. That's one of those. Both actors have really big egos, so they have to both show well fighting. Because I've done a lot of fight scenes in movies, and typically it's about you do about 8 hours of work for about 16 to 20 seconds of actual fight. That makes the screen. So that 8 minutes was probably 5 days and 6 nights of filming for that 8 minutes. So the work that went into that is incredible. It's a fun one. But where are we at? Do we have the number?
I have the number. Real quick, Jericho, do you have a quick question? Because he does have to scoot. Okay, the number is okay. I'll play the stupid sound effect again. Sorry. Where did it go? The random number for my mailing list I picked is 2,708. Let me scroll down, see who that is on my list of thousands of people I got to scroll through.
2,708. Wow. 78 was my jersey number.
Okay. I was 56.
That's kind of cool. Taylor. That's kind of foreboding.
Oh, nice.
This is the winner is, and oh, damn it. Sorry, I'm scrolling as fast as I can here.
Damn it, Tyrus. Why can't a wrestler say, thank God for sickle cell anymore? That's the America I need to be living in again. That shit.
I mean, that's where it was. Like Sergeant Slaughter coming out, taking up for Iraq. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was so great because it just
Ricky the Dragon
was fun,
Steamboat.
and you couldn't wait to see him get his ass kicked. Nobody got on a news show and be like, "Can you believe what Sergeant Slaughter said today? He needs to be canned." It's heroes and villains. Like that was such a cool thing. Like Don Morocco, he tried to hang Steamboat. Like there was if you go back and look at some of the stuff that they used to do that got to our reactions and we let them laugh at it. And it's funny because the argument is like, if you see that stuff, do that stuff. Well, if that's correct, then every one of us should be sticking dynamite sticks down each other's pants and blowing each other up. I mean, how many, like every Looney Tune cartoon with Bugs Bunny in it, somebody got either shot, dynamite stick, Bunny dressed up in drag, and then Elmer always fell for it and fell in love with him, and then, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they would do all these things, but we could put it in perspective and laugh, and none of these brittle people. We used to be a lot. I think we still are. We just allow the brittle people in charge of the remote control. But, oh man, there was so much fun stuff back then.
You probably couldn't even do the Degeneration X now without someone complaining,
Dude, who were the two white dudes?
Yeah, no.
He wore the kufi and the dashiki, and it was two of them. And they were like the African Dream.
It was only one. You're talking about Akeem the Dream, managed by the Slickster. Big Boss Man was Big Boss Man, but Jive Soul Bro is one of the greatest rap songs of all time. You're a Jive Soul Bro, and you're always lying to your friends. You drive.
Well, real quick, the winner of the laser engraved custom Big Man Comics, the Unstoppable Tyrus belt, would be 2,708 on the mailing list. You are, what is your name? Justin Moody. Now, you may or may not be watching. I will be emailing you according to the email address on here. I'm going to pick 2 other names in case you don't get back to me in 48 hours. And if the second guy doesn't get back to me in 48 hours, I will pick the third name. And then if that person doesn't get back to me, I will throw this belt into the air and the first person to catch it can have it. No, I don't know. We'll get it to someone, but hopefully Justin Moody, hopefully this email address doesn't go to spam. Hopefully you get it. So Real quick, let me punch up the other two numbers. It only takes a second.
Oh man.
Okay, 35.50. He had to run, huh? Okay, and then the other one is 1869. Okay, all right. Well, that was our amazing guest, Mr. Tyrus. He had to run. He's on a schedule for broadcast stuff, radio stuff, all that good stuff. So thank you to him. And everybody out there, I hope you had a great time with that. Let me text him real quick, and then I'll get your thoughts, Jericho. And then I think we'll do a little bit of a shorter show. So
I could talk to him all day about 80s wrestling, man. So many great wrestlers, so many things he couldn't do or say today. My brother and I, every Saturday morning, wrestling would come on. I think it came on after Cartoon Express on USA, the USA Network. And it was on, man. We all had our favorite characters. We usually rolled with the baby faces, you know, the good guys.
Yeah.
Not so much the heels. But who is it? Hawk and Animal.
Yeah.
What is the Road Warriors. Were they heels or baby faces?
They look like heels. They look like bad guys,
they
right?
were good guys though. But no matter what, we rock with them. Those dudes were crazy.
Yeah.
Who is it? The Bret the Hitman Hart and the Anvil. Those guys are bad guys. I didn't like them.
But it's you know what's so great is the behind the scenes stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the stuff he was saying. Thank goodness for sickle cell is a sign someone held up, dude.
It is
what
hilarious.
What would make you do that? That's totally insane.
The audacity. But like he said, dude, we knew it was funny. That is fucking hilarious. That is so fucked up that it's funny that you would hold up a sign for a black wrestler that said, "Thank God for sickle cell." They don't see the comedy in that. The balls.
Well,
but if somebody did that now,
as Tyrus was saying, the brittle people, they get offended because they think you're being serious. Oh, you think it's funny? People get sickle cell and die. I think it's a nightmare.
No, you asshole.
I think it's horrific, dude. That's why it's funny. Because the comment is so
that you
stupid.
would fucking make fun of that. The fact that you made fun of it is hilarious. They have the balls to do that. Of course not, you asshole. Nobody thinks sickle cell is a good thing.
Right.
But to make fun of it, man, that's hilarious. But there's so many characters that couldn't be done now. Certainly the things they say.
Even the guy like Papa Shango, the voodoo priest or whatever, they would say that was weird and racist. You know?
Well, the guy was talking about Akeem the Dream was a white dude who would dress in a kufi and a daishiki, and he would walk around dancing like this. You know what I'm saying? And like he had a rap song. Like he was a stereotype of an over-the-top caricature of a black person, and it was crazy. But nobody would know. Nobody would even attempt to do that right now because the WWF would come down. Oh, we can't do that. No, you have to apologize. Bitch ass shit.
Oh my goodness.
So funny. So funny.
Yeah, totally insane.
But I could talk to him about 80s wrestling. Fucking
no, he's great.
24
he's
hours
great.
straight.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been trying to connect you guys forever because you're so similar. You're both improv comedy political commentators. You both do that quite well. So yeah. So I don't know. I was just I got a lot of momentum mentally right now just from having him in here. But
yeah, man.
I don't know. I like you're saying, I could talk to him all day about the wrestling stuff.
Dude, the Junkyard Dog. What an underrated. Like you don't hear him mentioned with the Hulk Hogan and stuff like that of wrestling.
He's not around anymore, right? He's passed.
No, he passed. But the Junkyard Dog, man, he had to be, dude, like, I don't know, 6'2", 6'3" or something.
Oh, he died in 98, almost 30 years ago. I didn't even know that.
Dude, he had to be like 265, 273. He was
big old, it says Sylvester Ritter from Wadesboro, North Carolina, 6'3", 280. So,
yeah, big old dude.
Yeah, King Kong Bundy too. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, King Kong Bundy scared me when I was a kid. He was the first wrestler I saw. He was fighting Hulk Hogan or someone. Dude. And he started biting the turnbuckle and eating all the cotton stuffing.
No, that's George the Animal Steel.
George the Animal Steel.
Yeah.
That's
he was
the one.
actually a very smart intellectual.
Yeah.
But he acted like that in the ring. Yeah, dude, he would eat the turnbuckle. What the hell?
Is he the one who had the green tongue? George the Animal Steel or King Kong Bundy?
George the Animal Steel.
Okay, he had the green tongue.
Because King Kong Bundy wouldn't do shit like that. He was just a big, bald, scary dude in his fucking unitard, that big black fucking unitard. But no, that was George the Animal Steel. And then who was it? The Bushwhackers. Those two brothers, and they would fucking lick each other's armpits.
That's so gross.
It was so nasty. But they were crazy. The Bushwhackers. Yeah, dude, they were the shit.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to write Tyrus a thank you.
The British Bulldog. The British Bulldog. That dude had to be fucking almost 300 pounds, too. He was a big old motherfucker. But, man.
The British Bulldog. I forgot about all that.
Oh, British Bulldog. And there was a couple times he was wrestling in jeans, like tight-ass jeans. How the hell you do that? But, yeah, man, all those dudes. Hawk and Animal. The Road Warriors were awesome. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Superfly Jimmy Snuka. And I think he killed
What
somebody.
is Superfly Jimmy Snuka? What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know, but he put his hands like this and he'd jump off the top turnbuckle and fuck you up. I know that. But Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Now hold on.
Steamboat, dude.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You cannot be a dragon and a steamboat. You got to pick a lane.
Gabe.
You can be a steamboat. You cannot be a dragon and a steamboat. That's crazy.
Gabe, how about you take a nose full of Coke and you start naming wrestlers and see what you come up with? Have you done that?
The story about the first time he used the Funkasaurus and it's dead quiet, like a graveyard in there. And then one guy's like eating popcorn and goes, "You suck," and he's like,
dude, classic. Dude, pressure makes diamonds. Pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, man. But yeah, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, have you walked a mile in his nose? No. So you don't know what it's like to be gacked out of your fucking mind. Have you
sniffed a mile in his nose, Jericho?
Have you ever been gacked the fuck out for 3 days and tried to name people? No, you haven't.
Just gnawing on your own molars.
But get it, his name's Ricky. He's a dragon. And
the Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah, dude. Bad News Brown. Dude.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Dude, right? Hacksaw and he have his 2x4.
Right. What about Bam Bam Bigelow?
Yeah, or Bam Bam Bigelow. Who was the other one?
Of course, you got the Macho Man Randy Savage. I have to get a drink of water when I do that one.
Big Ben Vader. That was the other. He had the flames.
Did you know that Big Ben Vader almost beat the shit out of my Uncle Dave when my Uncle Dave was in college?
Damn. That's unfortunate. I'm glad he did it.
My Uncle Dave was a law student at CU Boulder. And my Uncle Dave, rest in peace, is a card sharp. He placed 11th in the World Series of Poker in 2006. He always wanted to win it. He never did, but he got pretty far one year. Out of his dorm or his apartment, whatever, in college. And Vader would play in the games. And Vader lost a bunch to my uncle and wouldn't pay. And so my uncle started shit talking him and said, you know, you're a welcher, is what he told him. You welch on your bets. You're not a man of your word. You don't pay your bets. You know, and the guy flew in a rage, chased him down the hall. It must have been the dorms if he chased him down the hall. And my uncle was so terrified, he jumped out a second-story window there in Boulder to get away. Now, my uncle's not a little guy. My uncle's 6'2". So just think, I mean, Vader's playing defensive line, and we all see what a monster he was.
Yeah, he's a big old boy.
Yeah. But Vader almost busted my uncle.
Almost got his hands on him. But I figure like the injuries would probably be the same, whether he jumped out the window or stayed in there. So
yeah. And then my uncle said years later, he went to one of Mike Tyson's fights in like Tokyo or where. Mike Tyson was fighting in Japan. And my uncle went to it, and he ran into Vader at the fight. You know, like famous rich people go to fights and all that. And they talked, and Vader told him, "Oh yeah, I'm wrestling, and it's great. You know, you get to travel the world, and you make pretty decent money, and blah 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 blah." So yeah, that was my uncle's connection to Vader, from almost getting beat up in college to running into him, 20 something years later in Japan. So yeah, interesting. Leon Allen White, 6'5", 450. Damn,
that's a big old son bitch.
that is.
Fuck,
Did I just
dude.
say 450? Yeah, 450. Right, and it says from Linwood, California, which is where Weird Al Yankovic is. That's just Los Angeles. And he died June 18th in Denver, Colorado.
Damn.
So,
That
okay,
dude
so he was
shits
connected
like
to Denver even after college. Okay.
he shits like a bear. Golly.
Jeez.
Well, that dude, the Mountain from Game of Thrones, he's like 6'10", 425.
My goodness.
That's a big old boy, too.
George Steele coached high school football. My cousin played for him in the 80s. Madison Heights High School in Michigan. Wow. There you
He's a
go.
really smart dude. But what a testament to how good of a wrestler / actor he was, for you to think he was this raving, savage, and he was really like, actually, the proper formula, blah blah blah. I'm like,
No, this
shit.
turnbuckle is overdone.
You were just eating stuffing, and I don't mean the stovetop kind. You were eating, styrofoam padding, and now you're giving a dissertation on culinary habits of 1350s Italy. Okay, I'm listening.
All right. I'm glad that Tyrus was familiar with the alley fight in They Live. So
It says a lot.
Yeah,
it says a lot if you're familiar.
he is our guy. The more I get to know about him, he is our guy.
So. You're serious about it, because 8 or 9 minutes, it's a long time.
It is weird to think, like, I know him in such a normal way, because I like wrestling, but I'm not a wrestling fan where I'm watching every match. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it in the late 90s, but I'm not like, oh, I know every character and every wrestler and every storyline and blah, 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 blah. So I don't know Tyrus as a wrestler. You know what I mean? I know him from the internet and Gutfeld and a political commentator, and he was like a wrestler before I knew about him. So it's weird to talk to him as, in my mind, he's a normal guy that I know. It's like, no, dude, this guy was in spandex beating the shit out of people, like, for a living.
And he has that knowledge of, the goings on behind the scenes, which, as wrestling fans, whether you're a hardcore or casual, to know what was going on, what these guys are really like. That's pretty cool shit, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, crazy, man. Totally nuts. So, those are, I think wrestling hit the mainstream in the 80s. That's when it blew up. Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant.
Crazy.
That's the first big thing. Then the second one, I believe, is the Attitude Era with Stone Cold Steve Austin and all that, right? That's the second big explosion of wrestling.
Yeah.
And
Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H.
Right.
Was it DX? Suck it guys. Yeah, for sure. That's when I got back into it. I had gotten away from it. In the late 90s, I was, 18, 19 years old, so I wasn't really fucking with it. But or in between, the 80s going through teenage years, but 18, 19, 20, basically when The Rock and Stone Cold came through, that's when I kind of peeked back in on it. And those guys, The Rock, whatever, socially and politically, I think he's an idiot. But wrestling, I don't know if there was a funnier person than The Rock. His fucking promos that he would cut, and the shit.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Dude.
Shut your mouth.
He was know your
role
and shut your mouth. And I'll take you down to Jabroni Drive and check you into the SmackDown Hotel. Dude, he was so fucking funny, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, one time he
your Rudy Poo candy ass.
Yeah, your Rudy Poo candy ass. Dude, there was one where he was being interviewed by one of the, the wrestling reporters. And he's like, don't look at The Rock. And he made him pull his shirt over his face, but keep interviewing him, talking through his shirt. Dude, just shit like that, man. The people's elbow, the people's champ. Dude, the people's eyebrow.
I hope I can talk to Tyrus more, maybe interview him again, really deep about wrestling, because I want to know some of the trade craft of how it works. Because I was looking online, like, okay, so those chairs they hit him in the head with, that's like a plastic chair. It's like, no, it's a steel chair. Like, so how do they do that, though? How do you learn to get hit in the head with a metal chair and not like just not have pudding for brains like after a couple years.
Yeah,
like,
how many of those can you really take? Like a real folding chair to the dome.
Yeah, I don't know. That's look at none of the miser getting the quote wrong. Take your vitamins and know your damn role. I think he took a few steel chairs to the head.
Yeah, you got that. Got your wrestlers mixed up, but I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, we know what you're trying to say. That's okay. Just have some more malto meal. Just go relax. More malto meal, please. So
no, turn the light on.
Oh my goodness.
So that would be
but I want to know how that works, how they do all that kind of stuff that looks like, dude, you can't hit someone in the head with a chair, but apparently they do.
Not just hitting him in the head with a chair, but a giant of a man
hitting
you with a fucking chair. Like, oof, I'll let a 5-year-old hit me in the head.
Because it's like you could sell it and you could turn, and I know there's movie fighting and all that. And I wouldn't be disappointed to learn it was like some lightweight plastic chair. But I guess a plastic chair would shatter. That'd be a whole different problem. So,
dude, that's still trauma to your dome.
Yeah.
And what if you get somebody who's not good at working, or they're pissed, or they hold the chair and it twists and hit you with the bar instead of the flat? Like, man, oh my goodness.
Right.
It could go real bad in a multitude of ways. But hey, I'm glad that they got the balls to do it, because I sure as hell enjoyed watching people, take various pieces of furniture and chains. And then you got Mick Foley, doing all his crazy shit with the jumping down on the thumbtacks and the steel cage matches. And golly, man, what the WTF?
My brother, when he was in college in the late 90s, his friend gave him these video cassettes of a thing called ECW something or other. And it was like barbed wire. They would have fluorescent light bulb matches where they would smash that all over the thing. And
that can't be good.
Thumbtack matches where they cover the thing in thumbtacks. It's like, this is terrible.
Dude. Like they can't. And then how they would, cut themselves with a razor blade where you couldn't see, and bleeding down their face and all that shit, dude. And we're in the 80s. We're in prime AIDS time. AIDS are at their zenith. You guys are out here bleeding all over.
I remember watching that Andre versus Hulk, that WrestleMania, and crying because I thought they were killing Hulk. You've told me before you ran and told your mom they killed Hulk Hogan on TV.
No, it was Rocky
Mr.
3.
T. Oh, Rocky 3.
Mr. T. I thought Mr. T died. And in 1983, dude, there was nothing bigger than Mr. T. That's when the A-Team premiered. And that's another thing I'm starting to watch with my son is the A-Team.
Yeah.
And it's bad. Ooh, it's bad. Holy
A-Team's bad?
Oh,
I haven't seen it in probably 30-something years. I only ever saw it a couple times, I think.
It does not hold up. The acting is terrible. You could tell it was for kids who are just all that terrible shit's going to go right up. But then here's something I've thought like my whole life. So if the A-Team, watching it now is a shitty TV show. It's terrible. But at the time, did adults know that it was terrible?
No.
Because it was a hugely popular show. It was like #1 for a super long time, or at least like the first 2 or 3 seasons. So how did people sit down and watch a shitty show where was that the best thing that was out yet?
There were 3 channels, dude. There were 3 channels.
But bad is bad. If I give you 3 plates and they all have cat shit on them, you're not going to say, well, there's only 3.
If I take you to Taco Bell and you have to order something, it's all bad, but you have to order something to eat.
But you're still going to eat that knowing it's bad. You're still going to be like, man, this tastes like shit, but it's all I have. Did they know that it was terrible? Because you watch it now and I'm like, what the fuck was this? Dude, the acting is terrible. Mr. T is the worst. He is the worst actor I've ever seen. But as a little kid, come on, give this man an Oscar. And the van, and then, hey, take those special forces guys we just captured and put them in that warehouse over there with a car, a bulldozer, blowtorches, pipes, gunpowder, fucking road flares. Like, why would you lock them in a warehouse?
Put them in a warehouse with that disassembled army tank.
And weren't these guys in the army? Put them in there.
Put them in the warehouse with our rocket launcher supply.
Yeah, take those hostages and lock them in Costco. Oh, fuck, we're locked in Costco where there's everything?
Right.
Dude, it was, whoo-wee. And I try I try to put on my rose-colored
I told you
nostalgic
what happened
glasses.
to me. What happened to me with He-Man? He-Man was like the coolest thing for 2 years.
The
My mom,
coolest
we've
thing.
been over, was very strict, and I wasn't allowed to really watch anything. She thought Skeletor looked demonic, so I was never allowed to watch He-Man.
She has a good point.
So then when I'm an adult, YouTube is around, and I'm like, ha! No one's gonna stop me from watching He-Man. I'm like 32 years old. I put it on, and I got about halfway through the first episode. I had to turn the shit off. I cannot watch this inane toy commercial. Sorry.
But that's because you were grown. Again,
Yes, I was
Gabe,
32.
again, you're seeing this stuff as an adult. Which
No,
was
as a
meant
kid,
for you to
I
see as
knew
a
I would have
kid.
loved it as a kid. I know I would have loved it.
It was awesome. And yes, it was just a long commercial. And
Right.
all the action figures were, I mean, everybody, all the bad guys, the guy whose head spun around, the guy who had like the fish, like
Merman.
or whatever. Yeah, Merman.
My
Yeah.
brother can talk like Merman, like full. I could barely do it. He-Man. My brother can totally. It's hilarious.
Yeah, dude. Him, all those guys. And the cool thing about it was the action figures looked exactly like they did on the cartoon. The muscles and all that shit. It was fucking perfect. He-Man, Battle
that
Cat.
movie. There's trailers for the movie. It looks like it's going to be awesome. And then the director of the movie came out and said that Jared Leto, the guy that played the edgy Joker with the tattoos, he's playing Skeletor. The director said Jared Leto Skeletor is like, what did he say? He's like the epitome of toxic masculinity. Why won't they stop doing this?
They got me again. I'm not doing it. You're not going to get me again, Hollywood.
They can't help themselves. They cannot help themselves.
I'm not fucking doing it. You burned me so many times, Hollywood, with these reboots and these remakes and these sequels that it's been 30 years since the original. Fuck you. You're not fucking getting me this time. The last time you got me with He-Man, Netflix. A few years ago, they had the He-Man series rebooted with Kevin Smith. Okay, we got some people who know what the fuck they're doing here. The animation, the trailers looked awesome. Awesome. Fucking piece of shit. I saw.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but a bunch of my friends said in the new He-Man cartoon from 2, 3, 4 years ago, He-Man dies in the first minute of whatever
episode.
And then the rest of the show is two strong, independent females complaining about men and their fathers.
3 of them, yeah. Walking across, different landscapes. Yeah. Man, my dad, my brother, my uncle. Like it was everything. It was a bitch fest. One of the chicks had half her head shaved, so you can imagine imagine what her upper lip smelled like. It was disgusting. So, but I did see the AI generated. These would be perfect actors to play these parts for Thundercats. And let me tell you.
Oh, that looked awesome. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe as Mum-Ra.
Right.
Dude, that shit. I was like, okay, all right. That would be cool. But again, that's AI. Why not let AI do it? Let AI generate. Let it be like the first AI movie where it's like a half between reality and animation. It looks awesome.
As an artist, I see so many artists are so crazy and upset about AI, and they're just like, yeah, I wish it wasn't trained on our artwork and stealing from us as artists. But I just like reality check. The adult opinion about AI is it's here and it's not going anywhere. So plan accordingly, dude. It's here. What are you going to do about it? But I see so many artists that are just like militantly crazy about like being mad about AI all day. And it's like, it's too late. It exists. People are going to use it. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But the same thing happened 20 something years ago when Adobe Photoshop and all of these digital drawing tools came out. They said, that's not real coloring. That's not real painting. And I would implore anyone that says it's not real, I'll hand you my stuff and we'll see if you can make what I make with Photoshop. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it looks when you do it, So, because I saw someone saying something about an artist tracing. Because what you don't know is in illustration, people will like if there's a vehicle, like a big Lamborghini or something like that in a book or something like that, people can get a photo of that and trace it. And that's a dirty little secret, but I think it's a two-edged thing. Yes, if you're a professional illustrator, you have the skill to draw the Lamborghini. You do. Draw the helicopter or whatever. But that's like a commercial business decision to like, well, I could draw this really complicated military vehicle, or I could light box it and then like fill it in the rest myself and give it texture and shading of my own. And that's just like, or I could do it, you know, all on my own by measuring it and laying it out. And then that's going to take a day and a half. So it's like, you know, there was a video of a famous comic book artist tracing the Baltimore Orioles stadium and like parking lot. And I'm like, no, I get why he did that. Because if he just like referenced the photo and measured it, that's going to be a week, dude. Like he could, of course he could do it.
But like
so
to
me,
it's a
the
tool.
AI is like, it's a tool. Just don't be, I mean, I wouldn't put AI in my comics. Like I wouldn't have my drawings that way. But, you know, I sent you those. I should have shown it while I had Tyrus here. I took my drawings and I put them into AI. And the prompt I gave the AI was, turn this into a 1980s style action figure. And, here, I have it here. And it's badass. I think it's amazing. Now, what would I do with AI turning my drawings into this? Well, what I would do is eventually like, hey, my comic book sold a ton. Now I can go to investors, corporate people and say, hey, I want to do toys. I want to do cartoons. And since I don't want you to have to use your imagination, here's what it would look like if we made some toys. Instead of spending tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to make the prototypes. So look, I'll show you this. So this is AI. Oh,
yeah, that shit looks sick.
Hold on. But this is AI, but you'll see that it's actually from my artwork, and I'll show you how. I just have to shrink it. It's too big. Hold on. Here we go. Now, let me open it with a different program because the stupid Adobe Acrobat is such a piece of shit. It's like the buggiest program, and it always has been. I'll open it with preview. But I'll show you my drawing, and then I'll show you what the AI did with my drawing. And then I did that with a bunch of my drawings from the Tyrus comic. Hold on. Let me find this exact drawing here. So, cool. Yeah. Okay, so here's my drawing. Here's my drawing, right? And then I fed that to the AI, stuck it in Grok, and I said, make me a 1980 style action figure, and there you go. So it turns the plastic texture, it adds the joints. Then you show that to investors and people you want to do business with. I put the female character in there. That's Cindy, his sidekick. I put Gorgon in there. So if you find these action figures, these are like from poses from my drawings. This is one of the villains, right? These are great.
Hell
and
yeah.
This to me is a very good use of AI. You take a drawing, you turn it into an action figure, and then you have something you could work with there. Or what? I hire people for hundreds of thousands of dollars to make me prototype toys, and I don't even have a deal to make toys yet. Like that. This is helping me, financially and with risk and all that. So I think it's a great thing. And another thing I think is great is like for animation too, and that sucks because two of my good friends are animators and it takes business from them. But for people without budgets, I mean, it is a good way. So if I take that Tyrus drawing, right? I take that one I showed you, and then I feed that to Grok, and then I tell it to animate my drawing. I still made the original drawing. You know what I mean? And now it's animating the different phases of the drawing. So I don't know. I could see a budget thing there. You know what I mean? Because to make animation, dude, I've looked into it. And this is the highest level. But if you had a studio like Disney or Illumination, that can cost you $1 million a minute. Right? And if you go with lower level studios, it's still tens of thousands of dollars per minute of animation. We have to think every frame of animation is 24 frames. So there's 24 drawings to make 1 second of animation. Speaking of all of that, I didn't tell you. Don Bluth, he was an animator at Disney, and then he started his own company. You may have heard of it, An American Tale, The Land Before Time. He did 12 animated features, Don Bluth, as like the director and I guess lead animator. He was the Walt Disney of the Don Bluth company because he's Don Bluth. He's retired, right? He's probably in his 70s, and he has a year-long program where you learn animation from him once a week on a live stream, and then you go out to Phoenix at the end of it all, and there's a final thing you do for a week, and then there's a graduation ceremony. I got accepted into that school. So I'm going to get a animation degree, diploma, certificate from Don Bluth Animation. And the whole reason I'm doing that is not that I want to be an animator. It's what I realized about working in comics with so many hundreds of different artists. The guys who were the best at drawing comics were from animation. They were so much stronger at doing comics than the guys who just learned from comics. And Philippe, the guy that helped me lay out the Tyrus book, he comes from animation. And I can't explain to you how much better he is than regular comic book artists who are brilliant in their own right. but there's just this other gear that these animators have, and I want it. So I called the college and like talked to them about it and blah, 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 and told them who I was and what I did. And they said, yeah, it's perfect. It's for working adults. It'll fit in your schedule and all that. So I'm going to get a degree. I'm going to earn it from the Don Bluth Animation University or whatever. So
you could always sleep with the professor.
Don Bluth?
If earning it doesn't work.
I don't know about that.
Just trying to think outside the box here.
I don't know. Oh, the Animator Survival Kit is a great. Are you talking about? Are you talking about this? The Animator Survival Kit? I have it. Come on, man. Who are you talking to? My good friend Bill Frake, who I do two sketchy guys. Our show all about being professional artists. He was an animator for 50 years. Disney, Warner Brothers, Blue Sky, etc. This was one of his mentors, Richard Williams, who was the genius behind Roger Rabbit. So, yeah, this is, if you want to know animation, take this book and slam it into your head as hard as you can and absorb everything in it, and you will be a brilliant animator. So, yeah, I'm Jericho. I'm going back to college, dude.
Get your JanSport backpack over one shoulder.
Yeah, I had to fill out an application, and I had to show them my artwork.
Yeah, dude.
You know, so I'm going to join a frat, dude. We're joining a frat. It's going to be awesome.
So you turn your hat around, dude. It's fucking
dude. Are you coming to the Darty on Saturday?
Dude, we do a keg stand, dude. Yeah.
I didn't know what a Darty was because when I was in college, I never heard that word. But when my son was at CU Boulder, where my uncle jumped out of a window running from Vader, when my son was at CU Boulder a few years back, he told me about Darties they would have on Saturdays. And then I realized, oh, it's a day party, a Darty.
Oh.
So
anytime.
So my son, he was in a frat. And so I guess I'll join an online frat for the Don Bluth Animation University.
Oh, get crazy.
Yeah, we're going to get crunk. We're going to stay up till 9:30, baby.
Dude, 9:45. Don't be a bitch. 9:45.
Yeah.
Be careful, man.
So there you go.
Don't let that world suck you back in.
Yeah. Yeah. Living fast, eating pancakes at 3 a.m, sorority girls. I'm married, though, so I'm out on all that. You know, so. Yeah.
Tell Adrian not to distract you from doing your homework.
Right. Come on.
You have new struggles now. Not like college now.
But it'll be interesting running my own comic book company, drawing books, writing books, and then trying to get my animation diploma at the same time. So it'll be fun though. But it's just like I just happened to see it online. I didn't even know it existed until 3-4 days ago. And I saw it online, and then I called him on the phone, and the guy picked up on a Saturday.
Damn, they're serious.
Yeah, it was there.
They're serious as hell.
So, yeah, and then Bill Frake, the Disney legend, friend of mine, he confirmed it. He's like, oh, I had a friend that took it, and it was awesome. So I'm like, okay, so it's not like a scam or anything worthless or, you know, because you never know. I don't know these people. I've never dealt with them before. But Bill said, no, it was awesome for his friend that did it. So, yeah. So hopefully
they're answering the phone on a Saturday. Those people are for real.
Yeah, it'll add that dynamicism to my work that I really want. Because I mean, you've seen Tyrus, you've seen the things I've done. They're good, but as an artist, I'm my own harshest critic. Like, this could be better. This could be better. You know,
that's awesome
though. Let's see. Like Mike Stumbo, Maya will be what you're learning 3D wise. No, Mike, this is paper and pencil. This is hand animation. Everything in the class is hand drawn, scanned into your computer, and then we put it together in what the hell's the program? DigiFlip. It's just it simulates the flipping for you. But I even bought the paper and the flip thing. I bought that. How about the you know what this is? Jericho, you know what this steel bar is?
No idea.
Not know.
No idea.
This paper here is animation paper. It has 3 holes in it, right? That plugs into here. And as you draw one, you flip, and you see your character moving.
Oh, okay.
There's a way you hold it with these 3. It's like a move. Like in sports, how they teach you how to hold a tennis racket or a baseball bat or a golf club. There's a way to hold the paper with your fingers to get the flip, and then draw, then flip, then draw, then erase, then draw. And I bought a ton of this animation paper and this bar that goes on my desk to hold it. So no, we're not doing anything digital in the drawing. This is learning old school hand animation, and I couldn't be more excited.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. So yeah, I'll join a frat. You know, it'll be awesome.
First thing.
Sigma Chi, Omega,
Thing,
Omega
dude.
Sigma, something. Delta, Delta, Delta.
When you pledge, you're like, dude, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not fucking 18. You just make me a fucking member of the
Were they
frat.
gonna like serve me like a plate of like anchovies and like dust from
Yeah.
under? My son told me the rituals they did to get in here. He said it was brutal. Brutal.
Yeah, but you're not. Are you going to
good.
do that as a 47-year-old man? You're like, I'm not fucking doing that. Get
Just
out of here.
tearing my shirt off. We're going streaking.
Fucking doing that. You guys got till 9:45. I
I mean,
gotta
like,
get to bed.
Like my hands on, and he's like, guys, it's almost 11. I gotta go home, guys.
I only pledged till 9:45, and then I'm going to bed.
I shit you not. My son told me he wasn't kidding. One of his high school buddies went to college out east. I won't say where because I don't want to divulge the guy's identity. And they do all the crazy frat stuff like you think. You have to wear a blindfold and there's candles, and you're swearing this pledge from 1912 with all these weird racist overtones in the pledge.
Yes.
All this stuff.
My
But
favorite
he said
overtone.
this buddy back east, do all the stuff they do, and you got to drink this much. He said, tobacco spit.
Oh yeah.
He said the new country had to do a shot of it.
Oh, you're out of your fucking mind.
I don't want to be in anything that bad. Sorry.
That's what I mean. If they approach you with something like that as a fucking middle-aged man, you're like, I'm not fucking doing that. Get out of my face, kid.
Yeah,
So
no, my fraternity's look at another advisor. My fraternity's called Tap a Keg of Beer.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm here for. This is the fraternity for tapping keg. That's all I'm doing. And I'm not doing any gross shit. You guys can forget that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll just make myself a member. I'm part of it now. Fuck that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But I think part of the sell on that is, yeah, you're young and yeah, everything's new and fresh. You're just getting started in college. But to try to get, if somebody like that were to actually join, like to be this age and do what we've done, like I'm not going backwards.
Right. No, I don't want to. Yeah. Yeah, dude, you got to eat the fermented fish, and you got to no, I'm not eating that. No,
let me in, or I'm fucking going home.
Yeah, I want people who want me in the group. If you got to torture me, then never mind.
Yeah, let me in, or I'm going home. Real simple.
Yeah. But when he told me his high school football teammate chugged a shot of tobacco mucus juice, I was like, I don't ever want to be in an organization like that. That sounds revolting.
Dude, and not only is it the spit, yes, disgusting, but that's spit from a man mouth. A man's mouth? Get the fuck out of town. I'm not doing that. Blech. That's gross.
The Ragu Overlord said, if you worked on Green Lantern in that 2007, 2013 era, you go into an elite creative status, in my opinion. Well, guess what? That was me. That is right when I worked. I started on Green Lantern in 2008. And I worked on the Lantern books until I think 16. So I was right in the height of it. It was the top selling book at DC Comics. And because of that, it got a movie greenlit with Ryan Reynolds, a not so great movie. But I was right there. The movie adaptation comic book, I was one of the artists that worked on it with the legend Jerry Ostrander. Let me go find it. I'm going to dig in here in my old books. Hold on. Watch.
Are they referring to a Lantern movie?
Green Lantern.
Oh, that was
not a great movie. Great comic book. Great comic.
Shit movie.
I did so many Green Lantern comics. It might be the book I did the most for DC Comics. I did Green Lantern Corps. I did Green Lantern Emerald Warriors. I did Red Lanterns. I did the Green Lantern, the relaunch in 2011. I did so much shit with the Green Lantern. It was crazy.
Well, I sure wish you would have made the movie.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
How about that?
Let's see. I'm trying to find this. I'm trying to find this Green Lantern movie one that I did. Where would it be though? I'm looking through these old folders. Oh, was it this? No, that's no. Was it this? What's this? No, that's pretty good though. I like when I look at my old work and I still love it. I'm like, wow, that's good. You know, I worked with Fernando Passarin on the book, and he put so many details in the drawings. The man never met a detail that he didn't love. Goodness gracious. Where would I don't know where I put that. I have so many jillions of comics I did for DC Comics. What the fuck did I do?
That's a lot, a jillion.
At least it was at least a jillion. Could have been 2 jillion.
1 to 2 jillion. Last
Yeah,
time
I don't.
checked.
Well, these are supposed to be alphabetical order, and I'm looking at all these Green Lantern comics I have, and I don't see it. But you know, I'm kind of going.
Look
fast.
under J for jillion. Or would that be a G? Would that be a G?
I'll keep looking. I'll keep looking real quick because I want to find it. I think I've shown it online before, but it was years ago. Okay, it must be inside of a folder that's inside of another folder. I bet that's what I did.
Folder in a folder.
Yeah, did the old folder in a folder gag to myself.
Classic.
The classic.
Amateur.
Wait, is it right here? No, fuck, that's not it either. Man, I did a lot of these. I think they'd have me do something else. What the hell is this? That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Goodness, that's a lot of stuff. What is this one? That's not it. That's not it. Sorry guys, I really want to find this though. Oh, is it in here? Okay.
Ooh, I hope so.
Oh, I think I found it. And I figured out why it wasn't called Green Lantern. I'm going to rename it in this folder. It's in a folder called Hal Jordan Origin, because Hal Jordan is the Green Lantern, and this comic showed his origin. And it's scenes directly from the movie. So this is directly from the movie. But this is a book I did. When did I do this shit? 2011. It was June of 11 when I worked on this.
That movie was fucked. It was so bad.
It was not a good movie. But
one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
See, there's Ryan Reynolds. You see him? Good old Rai.
Yeah, you should have. Like I said, you should have been a part of the movie.
What would you do if you had a face like this, Jericho? You had a big toenail for a nose, like a horse's hoof. Not great.
Hopefully, you got a horse dick. Because if not, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough sledding for you, buddy.
There you go.
Tough sledding.
The origin of Ryan Reynolds, of Hal Jordan. Sorry. Yeah. But I worked on this one with the legendary Jerry Ordway. What a guy. What a great guy. What a great artist. But this if you watch the movie, you saw scenes that corresponded with this, not this exactly. You know, you saw.
Yeah, like when he goes to the planet and he has his little fucking underwear on and they're putting the suit on him.
His undies.
God, that shit was gay.
Right, crash the plane. The sun sees it. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna rename that right now, that folder, because this is the second time I've been looking for it. Green Lantern Hal Jordan Origin. There, now it's where it belongs. So the next time this comes up in 8 more years or whatever,
you'll be ready.
I will be ready. Yeah, Green Lantern. Yeah. Hey, it didn't take. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to get out of here. That was a fun show with Mr. Tyrus. Do you have any questions or anything at all?
Super fun. Oh, man, that was way cool. I'm excited to see how successful it is. And I'm also excited to see what branches out from this. The toys, the merch.
Maybe I'm excited
some live action animated stuff. Like what's this going to turn into? I'm very excited to see that because
one thing. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You have a great product. You have a great buzz created about it. Like the ball is rolling. Everything is set. The table is set. So I'm going to see this get fucking awesome.
Yeah, one thing it's teaching me is patience because I can see it. I can see the toys. I can see the movies. I can see the cartoons. I can see it. And it's like, no. God works on his time, not on your time. He's not the genie from Aladdin. You rub the lamp and he gives you everything you want the second you ask for it. And then when it doesn't go exactly the way you want, you get all mad and pout and stomp your feet. Like, okay, just keep doing the work. The goals, the plans, the payoff, the rewards, they take care of themselves. God provides. It's you just do the work. Just have faith. So it's good. There were some questions in here real quick. What do I think about Netflix owning? Netflix does not own Warner Brothers. I don't know why they keep saying that on social media. That is 100% not true, and I hope it doesn't happen. Paramount just put in a sweetener to their bid today. So Warner Brothers is still just Warner Brothers. It is not owned by Netflix, and I see so many reports and so many tweets and so many things saying, oh, Netflix is going to do this with the Justice League. They don't own them. They don't own them. Paramount is trying to get them, and you better pray they do, because Netflix is the wokest of the woke, and Paramount has it's Dean Cain's friend, the Ellisons, Larry Ellison and his son. They're much more conservative, even though Paramount does some woke stuff. And I think DC Comics would be way better off if they didn't go turbo Netflix woke. So they don't own them. That's not the truth. You've been lied to. How many pages is that issue? That was a Al Jordan origin thing. It couldn't have been more than 20 pages. It was whatever I showed you. That was all of them. So I like the 20 minutes of the movie on Oa, the planet for the Green base. Yeah, it was interesting. Let's see. What else? All the more reason to have a more solid superhero universe than just 2 or 3. Yeah, and I do think comics shouldn't just be superheroes. I am writing another 80s action hero today. I'll announce his name on the air.
Do it.
A way of digitally copywriting it. His name. What is his name?
Do it.
His name is Theodore David Magnus, or Ted Magnus. And his superhero name is the Citizen. So if you like your vigilantes, your Punisher, your Batman, your street level, like vigilante kind of guys, that's who the Citizen is. And I just wrote his first adventure this afternoon. It's a short 15-page story just to introduce him to everyone. That'll be coming later. But the Citizen is my take on like the Punisher, grimy, street level, no mercy with the bad guys. You know what I mean? Like, this is tough stuff. So it's that, you remember Death Wish with our buddy Charlie Bronson?
Charles Bronson, yeah. That's
the vein I'm taking the Citizen in. So
okay. What was the other one? Who was it? There was one, was it Death something? But it was kind of like that, but it was with Kevin Bacon. I want to say like maybe 10 years ago or something like that. But yeah, I'd love to see that, man, like a more gritty.
Yeah, no, I'm going full. Well, because they cucked the Punisher at Marvel. He hates the cops, and you guys don't know where. You know how cops wear the Punisher symbol?
He was a cop.
Cops wear the Punisher symbol, but in the comic they wrote that he hates that, and you're all a bunch of white supremacists, and I'm going to get rid of the symbol. And then they got rid of the Punisher symbol. Marvel got rid of the Punisher symbol to spite real life people, Marines, Army, cops that wear it. Like, F you for liking it, So,
wow.
128 pages. Yeah, I write my books like a 2-hour movie. Now I'm moving to shorter scripts, so I can have them out more often. Because in the last 4 years, I've only done 4 books. I'd like to do multiple books a year. So I realized, even though 120 is about where I want to land, I'm going to do 64, 70-page stories. And the latest Dean Cain All-American Lawman, which is almost complete, and we don't even have Tyrus out yet in people's hands. Dean Cain's already almost done. So I'm getting ahead of things. So I want to get the Citizen done. I want to get the Tyrus sequel done. I want to just keep rolling. And my plan is to put one out every quarter, but these things take longer than I think sometimes. And I never want to be late. So I like to finish things before I start, advertising them and selling them and all that. I like to get the book done. I don't want to have people waiting and all that. So, so anything else for the audience, Jericho?
No, man, just support. Get the Unstoppable Tyrus. I don't only tell you people. I live by
the green screen is eating it. Oh, there you go.
Where is it? No, I can just.
Let's get a Jericho Jr. review real quick. What has he thought thus far?
Oh, damn it. There we go. Dude, he's loving it, man.
Okay.
We're doing this
character. Does he have a favorite character?
Oh, Tyrus.
Okay.
Easy. No, we've done the same thing that we've done with all the other books that you've made is bedtime. Okay. So it's the carrot dangling at the end of the day. Makes him get his pajamas on a little bit faster, brush his teeth a little bit sooner. Not faster, but sooner. Don't cut corners brushing your teeth, kids. But yeah, he still has that excitement. And like I said, it was his birthday yesterday, so he's 10 now. You know, he's a distinguished gentleman now, but he's still, you know, he's all about it, still excited. He told me, he goes, Dad, he's like, when I woke up this morning, I felt more mature. I felt 10. Really? I was like, what does that feel like? I don't know. I just feel it. Okay.
That's awesome. So, what a time. I remember being 10, some of the happiest moments of my life. Nintendo Power Magazine, G.I. Joe cartoons, Star Wars, pro wrestling, The Legend of Zelda, Mega Man. Oh, what a time.
Good times, man. So I'm going to get him a little smoking jacket, you know, since he's mature.
And then maybe, those candy cigarettes that blow out the powdered sugar or whatever.
Yeah, maybe give him some apple juice on the rocks, you know, a little instead of cognac. I'm not quite ready for cognac.
Yeah.
But he says he's more mature now.
Well, we'll see. Real quick, you see the timer on the website here. You have 38 days, 4 hours, 7 minutes, and 13 seconds to get a first printing. All the orders we get by then, the end of the 60 days, that's it for first printings. We'll make the book in the future, but it will not say first printing inside of it. Further, there's a trailer there. All the perks are on the right-hand side. Beautiful pictures of me, Tyrus, and Philippe. And then, if you can't wait to read the Unstoppable Tyrus, read the first 4 pages, not of the book, but it's a funny scene where he sees himself blue for the first time in the mirror. And I write a few jokes in here that are pretty good. And we find out a little bit of the lore, what's going on. We're introduced to some of the bad guys, but it's just 4 pages. It will not spoil the whole story for you. And then there are also some character bios on that page too, with just a little bit of example of art of each character and a little quip of each one on there. Mm-hmm. So go check that out. And of course, pick your favorite cover. I would recommend getting all 6 covers. And there you go. And get a t-shirt while you're there. It's the Unstoppable Tyrus. The link is in the chat. It's also in the description. And I'm Big Man Comics and Gabe Altaib all over social media. He's Jericho Green, JG Jock. Damn it. JG Talk 2.
There you go.
JG Talk 2 on Instagram. And we'll be back next week. And, you know, maybe we need to do that Burt Reynolds, Sally Field classic. Maybe we need to do Smokey the Man. Maybe we need to do a movie review again. You know?
Wonderful.
All right. Already pre-ordered. Thank you, Mike. And I hope any plans on making Greg Gutfeld the supervillain? We did not make. Well, you know, it's funny you should say that because there's a big pink monster who was his boss at the lab he worked at, and that man's name is Greg Clegg. He may or may not be named after Greg Gutfeld, at least his first name. But the villain, the big pink monster here, his name isn't like Bloodclaw or something. His name is Greg. We have a big monster named Greg in the book. So there you go. There you go. But you're going to love it. We got Gorgon.
Fucking funny.
Yeah, we got Zelex. We got Cormac. We got Tuku. We got Siete. We got Dr. Hiram Dathan. He's the mad scientist, but he's a good guy. And Steinbeck, the orangutan. And, of course, Cindy Crawshaw. Not Crawford. Crawshaw. That's a real name. And then Tyrus himself. So there you go. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's a lot of fun. And I wrote the sequel already. And the sequel might be the best thing I've ever written. It's really fun. The sequel.
Damn.
And I feel like every time I write a new book, I'm like, wow, that's the best thing I've ever written. I think I just keep getting better. Well, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or be a braggart. And I'm just saying this because I feel it's factual. I love what I do so much that I'm always trying to get better. And that isn't lip service. Look, I'm going to Animation University. There's no reason for me to do that. I'm fine. I'm good at what I do, but I love what I do so much. I'm always studying it and trying to get better because I'm going to live once, man. This is it. This is it. I want to be as good as I can be. My dream is to be like Walt Disney one day, not frozen dead with my head in the freezer somewhere.
I was going to say, wait, elaborate on that.
Not what I mean. My dream is to create a media empire that is the biggest in the world for family entertainment, that many decades after my death, horrible left-wing degenerates will take it over and ruin everything I created. That's
exactly like Disney.
I want that, except for the part with the left-wing degenerates ruining what I made.
Yeah. Minus that.
Is there a Jim Norton Mullis type character? No, there's not. There's not. There's not. So Tyrus said cats in it. No, I guess there was a good looking lady with glasses. I guess you could see that as her. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for today's show, boys and girls, or B's and G's, as I like to say.
You're so hip.
All right, I got to go rush a frat at Animation University.
Yeah, man.
Like, dude, who's the old guy?
Who's the old dude?
Yeah, but see, if I was at the frat, then I could buy the freshman beer and all that, right?
Yeah. Or then you could when they're saying, "Hey, who's the old dude?" Be standing next to him. I don't know who is that old dude. Like, I think they're talking about you.
Right.
You'll blend right in, man. Don't worry about it.
See, but then the sorority girls, they would like me because I was like so sophisticated and you've traveled the world and blah blah blah.
And because you don't care, that's why you don't care.
And then they'll look at my phone like, "Who's that?" "Oh, that's my granddaughter."
Is somebody get a car accident outside? Because all I hear is.
And then my wife is gonna come into the frat house and grab me by the ear.
Yeah, that's all bad, dude.
Because I was talking to hoochies. No hoochies.
Don't do that. Hoochies get you in trouble, man.
Right. Yeah. All right, guys. Adios.